been two times now. For the second time in 4 days, there's been an active shooter hoax at Villanova University outside Philadelphia. First time was Thursday. And Allison, this happened during move-in day.
I know, it's really scary. This is what's known as swatting. We'll get into that, but let's bring in Ava Petrovsky. She's a Villanova student. She was there caught in the middle of all of this. Ava, thanks so much for joining us. So can you just tell us what happened, where you were, how you were separated from your parents when you got this active shooter alert?
Yeah, so it was the day after move-in day for the freshmen. It was their orientation mass, and it's a big mass for the parents and the new students to kind of just kick off their orientation and then get ready for school to begin. So I was singing with my choir, the Villanova Pastoral Musicians, and I was facing the crowd. I had just finished singing something on the stage altar area, and then I walked back with my group, and then I see people just start running, and they were kind of running towards us, and I'm thinking, I don't know what's going on. My very first thought was, is it raining? But I didn't feel any rain. I didn't hear any thunder. But then the way that people were running with such urgency, I thought, oh, I think I know what this is. But then also I'm like, but this doesn't happen. This can't happen at Villanova. So then we were up on these steps. I turn around, there were these two doors behind me. We try to open them, they were locked. So then I ran down the stairs, around the corner. My friends are falling face flat next to me. And in my head at the time, I'm thinking that they were getting shot and that maybe the shooter was somewhere behind me. I keep looking over my shoulder. I run into there's this fence because we have construction going on. So now I have nowhere to move forward. So I'm kind of thinking at that moment, I think this is it for me because I have nowhere to go. But thankfully, then one of my friends opened a door on the building next to us. Then everyone kind of ran around and ran inside that door. We ran into the basement and we were in the storage closet. We made a barricade by the door. It was a bunch of my fellow singers and instrumentalists with a couple of the new students and their families. And we were in there for, I would estimate about 2 hours, but I didn't have my phone. So
So, Ava,
I was able to.
I just wanted to ask you, you find out at some point this is a hoax, but it still has a huge emotional impact on you, whether it's real or not. Talk to us about that lingering impact on you.
Yeah, it's scary, you know. I mean, I'm thankful that there was never really a real threat to campus and that there was no shooter and that no one was severely injured. But it was a hoax, yes, but the emotional toll that comes after that was so real. At that moment, we did think that there was a real active shooter on campus, and that was petrifying. We were running for our lives just trying to get to safety. So while we're relieved that there was never an active threat to campus, I would say emotionally, a lot of my friends and a lot of the people that experienced that, it's been hard, you know?
Yeah. Mark, I think that she makes an excellent point, which is, and I hadn't thought of this until listening to Ava. It's a hoax. So you think, okay, well, no harm, no foul, it's over. No, the trauma and fear induced from a swatting incident is the same as if there were a real active shooter. Not, I mean, obviously not if you were an actual victim of the active shooter, but the trauma and fear that spreads across campus. And so, how do you guys proceed today, Ava? I mean, what's happening with classes? How are your fellow students feeling?
So today is the first day of class. I mean, we just have to kind of go about our day. I'm excited to go to class. I think that really the past couple of days we've just been relying on each other, relying on my friends. As more of my friends move on to campus, because I was here so early, I've been I'm always excited to see my friends. But yesterday I saw one of my friends, and oh my gosh, my face lit up. I was just so excited to see her. So I think we're really just relying on each other. I think that we've all experienced, especially my fellow singers and instrumentalists, we've been through it together. So we're really just reaching out to everyone, saying, is everyone okay? How's everyone doing? Do you need to talk? Do you need a hug? And we're just being together. That's really how we're getting through it.
Ava Petrovsky, thanks so much for joining us. I know your parents came over the weekend to try to give her some support because, as you said, Allison, the emotional impact of this is just as real as if there had been an active shooter on campus, and it lingers for them. And imagine if you're a freshman. Ava's a senior, but you're a freshman, and this is the start of your college experience.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they say that this generation is called the lockdown generation, or it's called the active shooter generation. They are the ones who, throughout their elementary school, high school, have had this experience, and with swatting incidents, Mark, in
Right.
particular, this is becoming ubiquitous. There are hundreds of swatting.
Hundreds of incidents around the country. So with such fear, you've seen time and time again these shooting incidents around the country. The fact that they come directly to your children on a college campus anywhere is terrifying.
And also, the problem is that you have all these police officers, law enforcement, ambulances descending on a location where it is a hoax. What are you doing? You are pulling those resources from real emergencies. So that becomes dangerous for people who actually do need help.
Yeah, you're
So,
diverting the resources.
exactly.
That's part
Right,
of
from
what
the
the
real problem.
problem with swatting is. It's expensive, it's traumatic, and it's very hard to trace. That's the problem also, that they use all sorts of either burner phones or all sorts of new technology. And so it's really a challenge for law enforcement. As the president of Villanova said, it's a cruel hoax.
Very cruel. And I know the governor's talked about devoting resources to try to figure out who is responsible.